He's describing what is currently the dumbest strategy in politics, which is Democrats taking the 20% side of every 80-20 issue in America. USAID, people want this pared down. They want it streamlined. They want to know where the money is going. Democrats have a meltdown. Today, Donald Trump signs executive order on keeping boys out of girls' sports. Democrats take the 20 side of that issue as well. All these issues, this is like Trump's superpower, finding a bunch of 80-20 issues, getting on the 80, and everybody who's sort of reflexively against him gets on the 20. And now the Democratic Party has like a 31% approval rating. This is why.
I don't know.
That's Republican Scott Jennings telling a stunned CNN panel something that we've all known for years. Democrats are their own worst enemy. Welcome to Nerk News. I'm Nerkish. And Democrats still seem to be making the mistake of chalking all of President Trump's successes up to corruption and blind luck. Even more hilarious is the difficulty they're having spinning objectively positive things into negatives for political gain, like making Americans aware of the things the government is wasting their money on. Here's Jennings pointing out the pitfalls of this ridiculous strategy to the pretend journalists on CNN.
So not illegal, not illegal. You don't like the politics of it. I'll give you the other side. This is radical transparency on these USAID grants and other parts of the government that typically operate in an opaque fashion. And plenty of law degrees here. I'll give you the political view. The American people elected Donald Trump because they thought he was going to be a sledgehammer against this government and against the out-of-control bureaucracy, and Elon Musk is the instrument of the destruction. And there is nothing bad about the politics of this right now, about going through the government and reporting to the American people, did you know your money's going here? Did you know your money's going there? It's all upside for Trump.
Reproach where he shouldn't even be questioned about.
Yeah. He's questioned by his boss, the President of the United States.
Is he?
Yeah.
No, but they don't even know what he's doing.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Trump said he would have authorization to do what he needed to do.
Here's what the New York Times is reporting.
You know, you can really tell how desperate the left is getting by the fact that they keep grasping at straws like this. Musk isn't doing all of this because there's no oversight on him. He's doing it precisely because it's what Trump wants and what the American people voted for. And call me crazy, but it's a little ironic that they're panicking about him being an unelected official doing things with no oversight, while simultaneously losing their minds about him getting rid of useless managerial elite with insane regulatory powers and exposing wasteful government spending that's starting to look more and more like bureaucratic money laundering.
Look, I think this is absolutely America first. It's needed policy, and it's what people have been asking for years. And honestly, politicians have talked about doing this for a very long time. The only difference is they never do it. You've had presidents from both parties say, I'm going to make the government smaller. I'm going to go in and look at the bureaucracy and make it more efficient. I'm going to trim where I can, trim the fat. No one ever does it. Reports are written, committees meet, people have phone calls, press conferences are held, and nothing ever happens except the government gets larger and larger. Lo and behold, Donald Trump shows up and throws out the sledgehammer, the instrument of destruction, Elon Musk, to actually do it and do it at lightning speed. This is precisely what voters have been demanding. Is he going to break a few eggs along the way? That's fine. They'll have plenty of political latitude to do it because the action is what's wanted by the American people. Well, I think certainly Republicans are going to support what effectively amounts to the most aggressive and needed government audit we've ever had, no matter what agency it is. So, yes, I think the party is by and large going to support this. I mean, I think the Pentagon is an agency that absolutely should be looked at like any other. I don't want Elon Musk or anyone else going in and saying we need to shrink the size of our military or somehow reduce our national capacity to wage war or defend the nation. But you can't look at a bureaucracy this size and tell me that there is not waste, fraud, and abuse that could be ferreted out if somebody like Elon Musk and his team were willing to go in and do it. Of course they're going to find things. They'll find things in every single agency. And I think the American people are asking for that. And I have no doubt that you could get rid of some waste, fraud, and abuse in the Pentagon and have no impact on our national security whatsoever. And in fact, maybe you might enhance our national security by getting rid of some duplicative bureaucracy or some things where money's being spent on things it shouldn't be spent on, maybe redirect those things to more mission-critical items.
Jennings is absolutely right here, and if Democrats had any common sense, they would take a long, hard look in the mirror and pivot. But that's obviously not what we've seen so far. Liberals and their puppets and establishment media seem to be sticking to their guns, and perhaps most surprising of all, especially when it comes to divisive woke BS. I mean, CNN recently doubled down on this and brought on Representative Jasmine Crockett to wag her finger and tell Americans that she's so so tired of white tears from mediocre white boys. Then they decided to follow that up by having their crazy-eyed panelists yell at Scott Jennings and anyone who disagreed with her on Abby Phillips' show.
I do not have the same opportunity as you. I know I don't.
And you know
and
that
I know
too.
what, Scott.
And you know that.
Let me just tell you about me.
I'm going to let you finish, but I want to answer this.
I'm not talking about how you feel. I'm talking about how I feel. Me, a black woman in this country.
But not in this city.
And I will run. And if you want
I'm a New Yorker, not in this city. You cannot say that. You can't say that in this city.
I'm not talking about New York. I'm talking about Ashley
let her finish.
Allison right here.
Let her finish.
I got a law degree, a master's, and 2 bachelors. Probably more education than all of y'all added up together at this table,
Fine
right?
by me.
And I have always been the least paid person on payroll at every institution I have worked in. And it's not
Even
because...
in the White House?
Even in the White House.
Well, whose fault is that? I don't think he worked for George W. or Trump.
Well, guess wasn't what happened when I was there. DEI. Scott.
Look.
I think Scott Jennings' face sums it all up here. America is collectively over all of this. This kind of stuff is the 20% Jennings was just talking about. It reminds me of what Brett Weinstein said in a recent episode of Joe Rogan. Establishment Democrats and their puppets are like dinosaurs who don't understand that the Earth was just hit from outer space and they don't live in the same world anymore. The fact of the matter is there's no going back to that. Their corruption has been exposed and their party is on life support. And frankly, if they keep peddling this type of tired garbage, they're in for a rude awakening over the next 4 years. But let me know what you think. How long will Democrats keep trying to peddle divisive woke BS like this? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. That stuff really does help us out. Until then, this has been Nerk News. Thanks for watching. Bye!